thanks for joining me. This is Travis Albright with the Bluebird Music Festival and Future Arts Foundation. Really sad that we couldn't see you in person this year for the festival, but I'm really excited and appreciative that so many of our musical friends have decided to donate their time for the special film, Strings and Stories. Strings and Stories is a small part of the festival that we have every year where musicians kind of take their time to play the songs that they may not always play, or maybe they're popular songs, and then give you a little background as to how those songs came to be. A lot of the musicians in this film have done that as well. We'd love to extend our Bluebird family, so please come visit us in Boulder, Colorado sometime. Visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and at bluebirdmusicfestival.org to keep track of what we're doing. Without further ado, Strings and Stories.
Hey there, my name is Wesley Schultz, and I play and sing in the Lumineers. I'm sad that the Bluebird Music Festival isn't happening in person this year, but I'm happy to participate in it in this way, and I hope it raises some money for the Future Arts Foundation, which, if you don't know, they supply musical instruments to many schools and also give the children of first responders and teachers free art opportunities. So, this is called Strings and Stories, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about a couple songs and play them for you. The first one I'm going to play is it's actually the first song on our first album, the self-titled album. And we were in the midst of, Jared and I were writing a lot and playing in New York City a lot, but it didn't seem like we had found what was our sound. We were, I think, imitating a lot. And then whenever I was warming up on guitar, I would always kind of do this strum pattern. It was sort of like... So I'd always be doing that for hours and hours. If I wasn't thinking, it would just be twiddling around on the guitar. And eventually it turned into this song, Flowers in Your Hair. And the song is sort of a free-form, lyrically, it's sort of free-form or stream of consciousness, but I had just lost my dad, and if you listen to our music at all, there are some themes running through it, and one of them for me is my dad and the loss of, when I lost him, it just had a big impact on my life, and it still is something I think about often. It was in 2007. So the hook in this song is be in my eyes, be in my heart. I wanted him to live on through us. And so this is called Flowers in Your Hair. And this is sort of, I remember sending the voice memo of this song to Jer, and there was a siren, a sort of beeping going on in the background, because I was living in Brooklyn and there was always a lot of sound in the background. And we tried to mimic that in the recording. But anyway, here it goes, Flowers in Your Hair. When we were younger, we thought everyone was on our side, and we grew a little and romanticized the time I saw flowers in your hair. 'Cause it takes a boy to live, it takes a man to pretend he was there. So then we grew a little and knew a lot, and how we demonstrated it to the cops, and all the things we said. We were self-assured, 'cause it's a long road to wisdom, it's a short one to being ignored. So be in my eyes, be in my heart, be in my eyes, aye, be in my heart. So now I think that I can love you back, and I hope it's not too late, 'cause you're so attractive. And the way you move, I won't close my eyes. Oh, it takes a man to live, but it takes a woman to make him compromise. Be in my eyes, be in my heart,
Josiah, and this is Lucas, my guitarist. We're lockdowning together. Obviously, as we can't be there this year, which we were super gutted about, we thought we'd give you some songs in the meantime. This first one's called Prototype. Put my heart in quarantine to try and analyze what it is that forces me to love the prototype of the first of all, leaving the night guys. Put my head into a dream to walk through the moves I made, to see what it is that forces me to clear the state of a love folded, leave by the first light. I did it over and over till you walked into my life. All things got better the moment I felt, when I wasn't looking, it all stood still. I know with these things you can't always tell, but I love you. I think I always will. Put my security and my satellites from a high warning to a standby. The less I am controlling, the more it's going right. It's like waiting for a meteor in the morning sky. If I see it for you, all was worth the ride. All things got better the moment I felt I wasn't looking, it all stood still. I know with these things you can't always tell, but I love you, and I think I always will. Oh, there is no shortcut from pain. Maybe this is our lucky break, but I do it all over again. And at the risk of sounding awful cliche, all things got better the moment I felt, when I wasn't looking, it all stood still. I know with these things you can't always tell, but I love you, and I think I always will.
Hello, sisters and brothers of the Mighty Bluebird Festival. It's an honor to join the quarantine party. I hope you all are staying safe and well. And here's a couple songs for you. Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. We could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes now that have just begun under a purple sun. There's many reasons we are what we've become. I'm going through changes, ripping out pages. I'm going through changes now. I knew it once, but I forgot. I'm going through changes now. We want everything but what we've got. I'm going through changes now. maybe it's too soon under a purple moon, but I'd ride off with you in a big balloon. I'm going to change it, rattling cages. I'm going to change it now. Things could be different, but I don't know how. I'm going to change it through all this strangeness. I'm going to change it now.
The second song that I want to share with you guys is by one of my favorite musicians, writers, poets, Bill Withers. We lost Bill last month. It kind of felt like the start of when everything really became real with the virus. And he actually died the first day that I went into quarantine from my day job. And I just remember feeling like such a switch, that what we thought of as normal had ended, and what a way to mark this shift by the passing of one of our greatest poets. He was such an incredible man, an incredible American, and I love the way that he distilled, Black experiences into something that was universal and so damn human and real. And this song that I'm going to play is actually the first blues song that I fell in love with when I was a little girl. You might recognize it from Blackstreet's No Diggity, but that's how I first found it. But it's Grandma's Hands by Bill Withers, and I play it and I think about my own grandmother, wondering when I'm gonna get to see her again, and just, God, like how much we've lost, and just the power of like touch and hands. And I feel like a lot of us are missing that right now. So this song it means a lot to me right now. So thank you, Bill. Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Billy, don't you run so fast. Might slip on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in that grass. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands to the local unwed mother. Grandma's hands used to ache sometimes and swell. Grandma's hands used to lift her face and tell her, she'd say, baby, Grandma understands that you really love that man, but put yourself in Jesus' hands. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands used to hand me a piece of candy. Grandma's hands lift me up each time I fell. Grandma's hands, boy, they really came in handy. She'd say, Maddie, don't you whip that boy. What you want to spank him for? He didn't drop no apple core, but I don't have Grandma anymore. If I get to heaven, I'll be looking for Grandma's hands. Ooh, Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands. Y'all take care of each other.
Hey Lily,
Yeah.
can you tell me the story behind the song you did for Strings and Stories?
Oh yeah, that's funny you should ask, Mindy.
because I had recorded the song, but I forgot to include the story that went along with it. I was gonna try and maybe like redo the story part and add it on, but you know, I had to get my hair right and try to make it look the same. I am wearing the same clothes. But anyway, yeah, it's a song that goes back many years for me, back in the early days of Old Crow Medicine Show. And it's a personal story, you know. But we had just moved to Nashville, and we were living in the mountains in North Carolina, and we just moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and this is just after my father had died. Like within like 2 weeks after, we were in Nashville, and we were living in this big house way out in the end of Dickerson Ave, and we all had our own rooms there, and we would all just kind of go up and do our own thing in our bedrooms all day, you know, and everyone would sort of work on their own songs or paint or whatever it is that we did. And you know, I was working up there and trying to, you know, move on, and it was a hard time though. I was really grieving. But I was working on this song, and I took a break and I went downstairs, and downstairs in the living room, there was one of my bandmates, Critter, and Critter was in tears, and he was having a real hard time just sitting there on the couch, just kind of breaking up, you know, and it really struck me that at that moment that all of those guys were going through this thing with me. You know, it was an event that we were all there for, and it affected them too. So it really hit me. You know, so I had something to say. I had something to write about all of a sudden. So I went upstairs and I wrote out this first verse and a chorus, and it all just poured out onto the page. You know, like you hear people say, the good songs are written, you know, real quick when you have something to say. So I had this first verse and a chorus and like a second verse. And it was like the first half of the second verse. And then I got stuck, as I always do. So I took it downstairs. Catch, my other bandmate, was sitting at the kitchen table, and I just handed him what I had, and I said, "Here, man, finish this." And he took a look at it, and he really liked it. He thought it was good, and he just started scratching out verses for it. And again, it was real quick. Like, I mean, I want to say it was like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, might have been longer, you know. But he just within, you know, no time at all, he had like 3 or 4 more verses, and we had enough to cut some out. And then we had this song, and you know, in my eyes, it was like the first time. You know, I'd been trying to write songs since I was like 15 or 16, but this was like the first thing that I've ever done that was like my first like grown-up song. And you know, I wasn't so sure about it at first, but when it came time to record our first sort of major record, all the guys really wanted to put it on the record, so they kind of talked me into it, you know. And it turned out that it's sort of stood the test of time.
Thank you for sharing.
Yep. Well, all right, everybody. I've been here at home in my house for the past few months, and I'm pretty sure that just about everybody else has been at home in their house for the past few months. So I'll sing a little song about that. little bit tired, a little worn through the years. You sound nervous, you seem alone. I hardly recognize your voice on the telephone. In between, I remember just before we wound up broken down. Drive out to the edge of the highway, follow that lonesome dead-end road sign sound. We're all in this thing together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. When you cry, I taste the salt in your tears. Well, my friend, let's put this thing together. Walk the path worn out feet have trod. 'Cause if you want it, we can go on forever. Give up your jaded ways, spell your name to God. We're all in this thing together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. When you cry, I taste the salt in your tears. All we are is a picture in a mirror, fancy shoes to grace our feet. All there is a slow road to freedom, with heaven above and the devil beneath. We're all in this thing together, walking the line between faith and fear. This life don't last forever. When you cry, I taste the salt in your tears.
fights, we dropped the same bombs, put up the same walls, over and over again. How many lifetimes, how many bloodlines, until we realize we could all be lovers and friends.